I kind of felt that depression was my fault and it's something that I should be able to fix on my own. I felt like I was fighting myself, trying just to get through each day, and I couldn't do it anymore.
When you're ready to get help, Charter is here, and you can call us anytime. Charter is more than just a hospital. We have lots of treatment options and lots of ways to make them work for you, whether it's days, after work, or on weekends.
I thought, well, I'm the only one that has this problem, and it's not true.
If you have a problem with depression or alcohol, don't wait to call. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
There are so many reasons people need extra money.
With Friends Promotion, we're doing well. We just need some breathing room.
You own this house. Why don't you call Mr. Cash? We did, and it really helped us catch up.
Whatever your reason, call Mr. Cash.
I wonder if you can help me.
For simple home equity mortgage loans with flexible terms, available right away. Homeowners dial 1-800-888-LOAN.
Thanks so much for your help.
That's why we're here.
Call for a home equity mortgage loan from Mr. Cash.
Just call. You'll be glad you did.
It's Rosie's LA Adventure. The Chevy Venture minivan is taking Rosie O'Donnell to LA in February and helping Concept Cures fight against breast cancer along the way. Join the adventure. Win one of 20 trips to LA to appear on the Rosie O'Donnell Show and a chance to win one of 4 Chevy Ventures. Find out how you can register to win and help GM's Concept Cure fight against breast cancer by watching the next Rosie O'Donnell Show with Hillary.
I'm Gayle King. What we're talking about today is love. Love that runs so deep between a man and a woman that it can withstand, even grow stronger under the most horrific circumstances. Who doesn't want to find that kind of love? Nobody I know. Our guests on the show today survive every single day because they are blessed with having someone in their life who is stuck by them no matter what. We'll find out what makes them so lucky. And a little bit later on today, we'll learn how we can create our own incredible love stories. They say it can be done. But first, the story of Bruce and Deirdre Sokol. When Bruce and Deirdre married in 1986, they knew in their hearts they were each other's soulmates. When baby Ben came along 2 years later, their loving family was complete. But one day, Deirdre got some tragic news from her doctor. Deirdre had cancer. And even the unconditional love of her husband Bruce couldn't stop it from spreading. Deirdre says she knows her illness will one day take her life. But because of the dedication of her husband, their family is closer and stronger than ever. And for now, Deirdre and Bruce continue to live their love story one day at a time. Please welcome Bruce and Deirdre Sokol. Hello, you two. Bruce, what do you remember about that day that changed your life? You start us off, please.
Well, Gayle, needless to say, it was a day that I will never forget. Ben had a Little League game, and I happened to be coaching his team that day. And Dee Dee was going in for a mammogram. We had detected a lump several months ago, and we thought it was going to be just a routine exam. And she never missed one of his baseball games. And as I was coaching, I kept watching for her to come in the stands, and she never appeared. And as the game wore on, I became very concerned that something had gone wrong. And on the way home, my heart started pounding, and as we got home, I noticed that the house was dark. And I was hoping that possibly the exam had run late, or she had stopped at the grocery store. But when I got into the garage, I saw her car was there. And as I walked back towards the bedroom, something had gone way wrong. And when I opened the door, she was in bed, crying, sobbing. Looked up at me and said, "I've got breast cancer." And you hear those words from you think, what did you do? What did you say to her? Well, I froze. I knew what to say. It was like someone had poured cold water over my body. And
I was. I'm a nurse, and I knew what I was facing, that I would have chemo and surgery, and it would be a battle. But I really just didn't know how Bruce would handle this, because has never had to take care of anybody or have to deal with such a devastating disease. He hates hospitals. Hospitals just leave him feeling totally helpless. So I was very concerned about it.
Do you think that he's strong, though? Did you think?
Well, I mean, I know he loves me, and I, you know, it took me a while to realize that he would be through this battle with me. And one of the first things he said was, you know, you had to go to this mammogram alone, and you're never going to have to do anything else alone again.
And then the time comes, and the decision is made that you're going to have a mastectomy. And are you worried about going through that whole process? Because I think that's one of the fears that women have, I think, about our bodies, how we look.
Right. Body image is so important to women, and just, you know, to know that your husband wants you and you're appealing to him, and, you know, thinking of scars and how would he respond to me, and that was very difficult.
When you first saw her after the surgery, did you have a problem? Because, Dee Dee, were you looking at his face? Let me back. Were you looking at his face to see, oh, what is he going to say?
I was looking for cues to see if if he would turn his head or grimace or look a certain way. And
what did you see?
I never saw that. Only saw a warm, sensitive face looking at me and, wanting me to do well. And
there was another story about the time that you all went to a wedding.
2 weeks after Dee Dee's first chemo treatment, her hair started falling out. And the wedding was actually 2 weeks and 2 days after that treatment. The day after the wedding, we went to New York City. We had planned a mini vacation in New York City, and we were in our hotel bathroom. And fortunately, her hair had stayed in for the wedding. But that morning, her hair started coming out in large chunks. So when we woke up, she said, would you please try to find a barber shop or beauty shop open? I want to get my head shaved. Well, it was Memorial Day. Nothing was open. So I went down to a drugstore on the corner, got a shaving kit, came back up, hair cutting kit, came back up and said, I'm going to cut your hair. We went into the bathroom and I started cutting away.
Cutting her hair. What was that like for you, Dee Dee? Because I'm told you really liked your hair. Bruce said you had long, pretty hair,
yes.
And that it meant a lot to you. What was that moment like for you?
Well, I mean, it was very hard. Losing your hair is very devastating. But when, he came back with the razor and said, I'm going to do it, I thought, oh, God, how can he, it was hard for me to lose my hair, but how can he actually just, cut the hair? And we went into the bathroom, and he proceeded to cut it with the scissors first and then shaved my head. And then I knew if he could do that, and then he would accept me without any hair very easily.
Because didn't he even suggest, you know what, I'm going to cut my hair too?
Yes, he did. And I said, please, no. I said, because I said, that'll just draw more attention to me, and I don't want any more attention.
Yeah, two bald people come walking in.
It's very strange.
It might create a little bit of a stir. When we come back, Bruce and Deirdre look to the future and find out and you'll also find out if a young man who survived a plane crash could keep his promise to his new bride. We'll be right back.
They brought me into the trauma room, and he was laying there on a board, and he looked up at me and said, I guess I'm not going to make it for dinner.
My sister discovered it. She said that I could save over AT&T on every call in the U.S. just by dialing 10321. So I told my brother in Atlanta.
I save 50% on all calls over 20 minutes. That's half off. So I told a friend in L.A.
Just dial 10321, then 1, the area code, and the number.
And on it goes. No fees.
There's no signing up.
And you get great international rates.
10321, that's all you got to remember.
Good news travels fast.
We both have colds, and just like last time, he's perky. Because last night he got to the NyQuil first, and so he got rest again, and I didn't.
It's NyQuil. The night has sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, so you can rest and have a good morning medicine.
Don't fight it. You're in the chocolate zone. Indulge it with sweet escapes, real Hershey's chocolate, and less fat.
Jergens Skin Smoothing Lotion gently exfoliates dry, flaky skin. Jergens Skin Smoothing Lotion, because you have beautiful skin just waiting to be revealed.
Looking for an incredible after-Christmas sale? Shoe Carnival is the place to be. Doors open at 7 a.m. Friday, and the sale lasts all weekend. That's Shoe Carnival. Brand name savings for every walk of life.
NBC 33 News and MSNBC are teaming up to give you a new choice for news. When you're online, go to NBC33.com, your source for news in Fort Wayne and your link to MSNBC on the Internet. It's the only news source that lets you choose the news that's important to you and delivers breaking news to your desktop, at home, at the office, 24 hours a day. When you really want to know, log on to NBC33.com and MSNBC, your team to trust online.
Extra coverage of the big stories and reporters that go the extra mile. That's why we're called Extra.
You want more? Get Extra.
Weekdays on NBC 33.
Forget Nisco's December 26th sale. Everything 50% off. 5008 Decatur Road and in Coldwater Crossing.
We were talking about Bruce and how special we think he is. Your wife thinks you're very special, Bruce. She's written a letter to you today.
May I read it?
Would you please?
I think
Yes,
I'd do
please.
much better reading it.
Would you please?
Bruce, the night we were told of my breast cancer diagnosis, we were devastated and our lives were shattered. Life would never again be the same. All I could think about was dying and leaving you and Ben. Though our family and friends have provided us with constant encouragement and support, you have always been here for me. You are my rock, my pillar, my cornerstone. Each night before we sleep, your warm touch and kind words help me get through the night, and I awake to a wonderful new day filled with endless possibilities. For all of this, words are inadequate. I love you so much more. I am so pleased to have this opportunity to thank you and tell you how much I truly love you.
Bruce, tell me you're feeling a little special now.
A lot.
That's very nice, Dee Dee. Very nice.
Thank you, Gayle.
We thank you both for sharing your story with us today. And our next guests have a love story as well that will surely put a smile on your face. It has a happy ending, and it started with a tragic accident just 1 year ago. Last fall, Todd Baker and Laura Wiley were young and in love. Recently engaged, they had begun to map out their fairy tale life together, as well as the wedding of their dreams. But in an instant, everything changed.
I was supposed to go down to my fiance's house for dinner. I called her at like 3 and told her I was going to go up flying and I'd be down there around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Tragically, Todd never made it to dinner that night, and today he does not remember the plane crash that nearly robbed him of his life.
The only times I remember anything that happened would be when people told me what happened. I guess your mind just doesn't want you to remember those kind of traumatic things.
Todd does remember one thing, fighting to stay alive.
I was laying on the stretcher, and I could hear the helicopter and everything, and I was kind of in and out of consciousness. And I came to this one time, and this beautiful lady was leaning over top of me, and I mean, she was gorgeous, and I looked at her and I said, "Are you an angel?" And she said, "You got to fight, Todd. You got to stay with us," because I was in and out. It was pretty bad.
With his leg shattered, his skull fractured, and his face unrecognizable, the doctors didn't know how long it would take his broken body to heal. After being confined to a wheelchair for over 7 months, Todd had had enough.
It really started getting tiresome being in the wheelchair. You know, I was sick of my butt being sore. I was sick of my back being always arched over like this. By June, I was really wanting to get out of it. And I was really hoping that, you know, the doctor would say, "Go ahead and walk. You know, it's time to start walking." And I was like, "Yes." But every time I came to get my x-rays done and see the doctor, he said, "It's not quite ready yet. You know, let's wait another month."
With the wedding date approaching, Todd had become desperate. He was determined to walk down the aisle with his bride.
All along I've been telling Laura, I've said, you know, I'm not going to go down that aisle in a wheelchair. And I don't want to have to remember it for the rest of my life. I don't want to look back at something like a wedding, which is going to be so important, and have to see me in that stage of my life.
We will find out what happened at their wedding in just a couple seconds. Can you take us back to that day?
I had just gotten out of the hospital myself. I just had reconstructive surgery on my ankle, so I was home recuperating, lying on the couch, and I talked to Todd that morning, and he said it was a really nice day, and he wanted to go flying. I said, that's fine. He said, I'll come up, I'll come and have dinner with you. And I said, yeah, go do what you need to do. I don't want you stuck here with me all weekend because I can't do anything. So I was just kind of hanging out, and we had the TV on, and the news came on, and they said that a report had just come in that there had been a plane crash. And I looked at my mother and my sister, and I said, I know it's Todd. And my mother told me not to be ridiculous and just to call him.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't bring myself to do it. Finally, after a while, and the report came on again saying they still didn't have any names or anything, my aunt said, call his house. So I called, and I got a hold of his cousin, answered the phone, and she put me on the phone with Todd's mom, and she told me that, yes, indeed, it had been Todd.
So you rush to the hospital, and you see him there, and I understand he was in pretty bad shape.
He was in really bad shape. They brought me into the trauma room, and he was laying there on a board, and he looked up at me and said, I guess I'm not going to make it for dinner.
Oh, boy. Todd, that's what you said? I'm not going to make it for dinner?
He doesn't remember.
No.
Oh.
I know I always try to shed light on a situation like that.
But did that lighten the moment?
It actually did. It made me feel better because it made me realize he knew he was kind of aware of what was going on. He knew that he was supposed to be somewhere, so that made me feel better. And I didn't really worry that something awful was going to happen. I thought he's going to be okay.
Was there ever part of you that thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hang in here for this?
The thought never crossed my mind that I couldn't love him any differently than I had before.
Why were you so concerned about being in a wheelchair? Nobody wants to be in a wheelchair, I understand that, but I understand that you had a total aversion to it.
Well, being in it for, the 10 months that I was actually in it, and still am in it occasionally now, it's nothing that you want to do, day in and day out. It's hard. I mean, you don't get a lot of respect. I mean, people look at you a different way, and a lot of places aren't handicap accessible, and it just makes it really hard.
You were like, I don't want to live my life like this.
Right. I want to be out of this thing as fast as I can.
We were with him the day that Todd went to the doctor to find out if he would be able to walk down the aisle to his bride. Finally, a few weeks before the big day and almost 1 year after the accident, it was time for Todd to find out if his dream to get out of his wheelchair for the big day would come true.
Things look great. The x-ray looks super. The bone is healing great, and we can get you up on your crutches and get you walking.
Yes, you can walk. That's awesome.
So we're all set to get you down that aisle.
Todd's prayers had been answered, and he wasn't the only one thrilled to hear the news.
So we're all set. Looks like we get to walk down the aisle after all, huh?
That's good, honey. I'm very glad to hear that news.
Yep.
When the big day arrived, Todd and Laura seemed a little nervous, but they were ready.
I, Todd, take you, Laura.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
I promise to be true to you.
I promise to be true to you.
Good times and in bad.
In good times and in bad.
I, Laura, take you, Todd.
To be my husband.
To be my husband.
I promise to be true to you.
I promise to be true to you.
Good times and in bad.
In good times and in bad. I will love you and honor you all the days of my life.
We've been looking forward to this day for a long time. Ever since the accident, we haven't known if this day was going to happen, and it's finally here.
Even the first dance had a special meaning for the new bride and groom.
I would just like to wish you every happiness in the world. You've earned it, and you deserve it. I'd like to toast the bakers.
Wow. Laura, what was it like for you?
It meant a lot to me to see Todd walk, and I know it was very difficult for him. And all along I always told him, I don't care if you're in a wheelchair or what, we're getting married. And so, but it meant a lot to me to see him because it has showed a lot of hard work and determination and positive attitude over the last year, and that's what got him down, was his attitude.
You were a beautiful bride.
Thank
Congratulations, you two.
Thank you.
When we come back, a psychologist and author will tell us how we can create our own incredible love stories. We'll be right back. I don't know if we can create this.
All of us are afraid of intimacy and struggle with relationships. And for those of us who can't find this kind of incredible faith, there are some things that we can learn from them.
Everybody's got their own style. Everybody's got their own smile.
It's about you being you and me being me. It's about feeling good
And the things you do to stay happy.
Everybody's got their own way of staying fit. So Kraft Free has a great tasting fat-free dressing to fit everybody.
But no matter where you go,
one thing everyone knows. Everybody's got a taste for Kraft. Everybody.
Aquafresh Whitening safely and gently breaks up stains to help get your teeth their whitest.
Aquafresh Whitening, safe to use every day for dazzling whiter teeth.
Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Come to the church in the wild.
Boy, it's good to be here again. On the old Griffith Show, we used to call this Byers Lake. Great place for picnicking, fishing, hymn singing. That's the main reason for coming back here today, to introduce my new album.
Just as I am, without one plea.
Just As I Am, a collection of 30 favorite old-time hymns. This is where Opie threw the rock in the lake, remember?
Somewhere beautiful Isle of
Once in a while, Barney and I even caught a crook here.
Now let us have a little talk with Jesus. Let us tell him all about our trouble. He will hear our faintest cry. He will answer by and by.
I sing because I'm happy. Good friends, good singers, good musicians make a good record. And this was a real celebration.
There is power.
All my life I've enjoyed singing hymns because they're a message of goodness and love. I hope you enjoy hearing them. I appreciate it.
I'll fly away, oh glory, I'll fly away.
To order Andy Griffith's new album, call the number on your screen or send check or money order for $14.99 for 2 cassettes or $17.99 for compact disc, plus shipping and handling to the address below. Rush delivery available. Andy Griffith's new album is not sold in stores, so please call now.
Fly away.
You share your adopted child with his birth mother? How two families came together for the love of a child. Next, Gayle King.
We've got something to talk about.
Welcome back to you. How do we create our own perfect love story? Please welcome the author of Create Your Own Love Story, because this guy believes it can be done. His name is Dr. David McMillan. Welcome, Dr. Dave.
Thank you.
You hear the love, David, that these 4 people have?
Yeah.
And I think, how do you create some of that? I'm thinking, I must be looking for love in all the wrong places. 'Cause I can't imagine anything like that.
I think these are very special people.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that makes them so special is they don't know they're special.
Yeah.
It's instinct. This is just what I would do. It's just when they're committed, they're committed. That's the kind of people these people are.
But you know what, David? Some people would be faced with this, and there are many people, men and women alike, who go, boy, this is more than I bargained for. I love you, baby, but I can't handle this.
Well, and I don't think we should make those folks feel bad. I mean, all of us are afraid of intimacy and struggle with relationships. And for those of us who can't find this kind of incredible faith, there are some things that we can learn from them.
But you believe that there are 4 principles that everybody needs.
Yeah.
To To create our own.
Right. One is spirit, or the ability to tell the truth safely. The second is trust, which is the ability to influence each other. You got to influence one another. If you give away power in a relationship, you get power. The third is trade. You got to have something valuable your partner wants, or you won't stay. And the fourth is art, and that's the celebration of our moments together.
Because don't you think life is really made of little special moments? It's the everyday things, I think, that sort of get... You know, we have some big moments in our lives, but really, life is made up of a series of the everyday things that keep us going on a day-to-day basis. Do you think that? Do you believe that?
Yes, ritual is one of the things that makes a fabric of our relationship. The good morning kiss.
Yeah.
The coming home and saying hello. Those everyday events that build up and are repeated over and over again are treasures for relationships.
Okay, David. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. United is proud to be the official carrier of the Gayle King Show, working toward a more professional travel experience. We're headed in a different direction. United Airlines rising. Our guests stay at the beautiful Avon Old Farms Hotel, Connecticut's most romantic wedding and dining facility. It's on the mountain in historic Avon, Connecticut.
Homeowners, if credit card problems and bills are keeping you awake at night, it's time to put those problems to bed and call First Finance. If you're a homeowner and need cash to pay off credit card bills, a land contract, consolidate debts, divorce, settle delinquent taxes, or for any other reason, call First Finance at 1-800-647-FIRST. Even if you've been turned down for refinancing by banks or other mortgage companies for any reason, call First Finance now and sleep well tonight. Call 1-800-647-FIRST. That's 1-800-647-FIRST.
Happy holidays from all of us at the Village at Coventry Scots.
Get big holiday savings on whole Dubuque boneless ham, a low $1.39 a pound. Check out Scott's new website each week for new recipes so you never run out of fresh ideas. Make your meal extra special with select whole center cut boneless pork loin, just $1.99 a pound.
Thanks for making Scott's your first choice for holiday shopping.
It's a clearance sale, Clarence. Glenbrook Dodge Hyundai's big year-end sale. Over 30 new 97 Caravans with room for the family and room in your budget starting at $15,488. Tons of merry and bright new Dodge Neons starting at just $99.88. Plus, deck your Hyundai Accents and Elantras with low clearance sale prices like these. Tough Dodge Dakota. Tough to pass up at just $169 a month. The new year, big end clearance, scratch that. Big year-end clearance sale on now at Glenbrook Dodge Hyundai across from Sears, Glenbrook.
Suffering succotash. You mean I don't have to catch the bird myself? I get succulent strips of white meat chicken seasoned just the way I like them, and no little old lady thrashes me with an umbrella. I get to dip the tasty morsels in my favorite sauces, and no big bulldog pummels me. It's just what I want in a meal. It's juicy, tender, and stationary.
You can go anywhere and get nuggets, but you can only get chicken fingers this good at Arby's.
Any clown can sell you a home theater system and promise custom installation. But at Audio Video Lifestyles, you select your home theater system from the greatest names in sight and sound. Quality components, custom matched to fit every budget, all displayed in a home-like setting. And best of all, backed up by the most experienced installation team anywhere. Audio Video Lifestyles, 7107 West Jefferson at the Hollows in Fort Wayne, where fast professional installation is no laughing matter.
Why is America on America Online?
I can stay a little closer to my family.
You've got mail.
It's so easy my dad can use it.
So easy to use? No wonder it's #1.
Now you've got something to talk about.
Bruce, this non-special guy, has written a book called A Husband's Story about breast cancer, and all the proceeds from Bruce's book are going to help the Breast Cancer Research Foundation in the state of Alabama, where you're from. You're all very lucky people today. We thank you for joining us and sharing your stories. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Would you be able to share your adopted child with its birth mother? On the next Gayle King Show, a new way of looking at open adoption.
A transcript of this program can be purchased for $6. and a videotape for $29.95 plus $5 handling. Don't forget to include the name, the subject, and the air date.